Hi everyone. So had an interesting experience today, and I really wanted to share it with you all because you may or may not be able to resonate with it. But I don't know about you. I'm very instinctive, very intuitive, and I think sometimes to the frustration of everyone else, I will back my gut instincts regardless of the facts. Um, yeah, I've come up against this many a times, and I experience it all the time with my employees at the moment, where they will look at the data, look at the information, and they will want to do, one particular action or go in a particular way, but my instincts are saying to go the other way, and I've learned over the years to back those instincts unconditionally because they have never, not once never have they let me down. And I just have that such a deep level of trust with those instincts now that I don't even question it. I just look to make sure that they really are, it's a clear signal almost that telling me to go in a particular direction. So yeah, when trying to explain that to team members, particularly team members that are a lot more logical in their thinking, maybe more left brain than right brain, it can be very hard to get it across. And sometimes you listen to yourself talking and explaining, well, yeah, my instincts tell me to go that way, so I want to go this way, and that basically is your like your case in an argument or in a conversation, and they look at you baffled, thinking, how does that even make sense? So I had a similar situation with that this week. So it's payroll this Friday, and today is Wednesday, and our financial director has been really fretting over the last week or so because we're in this very frustrating situation where we actually have a lot of cash due to us, but for various different reasons, this cash has been delayed and it's been delayed and it's been delayed and it's been delayed. Like, it's had a real knock-on effect with our business, and it's extremely frustrating. But when you have payroll coming up this Friday, I mean, our payroll is the best part of £20,000, just for one of the businesses. It can be quite a tense time, and I think I've been annoying and sort of frustrating my finance director because I haven't really batted an eyelid at the situation in terms of we've got payroll this Friday and we haven't actually got any money in the bank to be able to pay it. And every day she's been sort of frantically like looking at the numbers, downloading bank transactions, and so forth, and looking to me as leader of the business to be like, well, what are you going to do about this? What are we going to do? And I just haven't felt the desire or the need or that urgency to actually do anything because my instincts were telling me everything was going to be absolutely fine. We weren't going to skip a beat in payroll, and because I have that level of trust, I don't even question it. I just go with it. So today, this morning, Wednesday morning, we've got less than 48 hours until payroll is due to be paid, and we still don't have the money in the bank. And payments that we thought were coming in today are now not coming in today. They're coming in Friday, which is the day payroll is meant to be going out. So it's getting a little bit sort of to the wire, really. And by pure chance, by pure coincidence, I got a message from our finance administrator today saying that randomly a check had arrived in the post. Quite a substantial check had arrived in the post. And would I like him to go to the bank and cash that? Of course, my immediate response was yes, go now, drop everything and just go, like, let's get it in the bank because checks can take a while. But I was telling my FD about this, who was just like dumbfounded, like I mean, she calls it Adrian luck, and she's like, "This, oh, great, Adrian luck strikes again," because actually it's really saved us, because we know we have one other smaller payment coming in tomorrow. So actually, between the two, we payroll's covered. It's not an issue, and it just got me thinking that when you're in these sort of business scenarios, particularly as your team starts to get bigger and you surround yourself with more people, and if you're doing it right, you're surrounding yourself with people who are intelligent, intelligent, smart people, and ideally they're much smarter than you are. And in those situations, it can be really easy to get sort of sucked into those, in that particular situation, to get sucked into the panic and to get sucked into that nervous energy of, "Oh, how are we going to do this?" Which only detracts from from what you're trying to do and achieve, really. But how do you actually stay strong with that conviction? Like, if your instincts are telling you that, yeah, it's going to be okay, and you fully back those instincts, how do you communicate that to your smart team members, your smart management team, in a way that doesn't make you sort of jeopardize or second guess your instincts? And I was thinking about it a lot today, and I think it just sort of comes down to experience, I guess, and just a willingness to back yourself. I mean, I had absolutely no idea this check was going in. I was as surprised as anyone, but I wasn't surprised, if that makes sense. So I was like, oh great, a check's come through, but I knew the money would come from somewhere. So I just want to say to people, like, if you are like that, if you are very instinctive and intuitive, and you listen to your instincts, which I'm assuming a lot of you watching this are, then back yourself. Don't be afraid to back those instincts, and to and to just do what you need to do. Like, back yourself, even if it's just you and everyone else is sort of against you, say, no, this is the way. If you so strongly believe that your intuition is telling you to go one way and you can't even explain it, just do it. It's never let me down. I've been in some of the most remarkable and amazing situations over the years. In my 20s, I traveled a lot. I've traveled to over 40 countries in total, and some of the situations I sort of found myself in when traveling, it's too much for this video, but those situations just showed me that, yeah, I listened to my instincts, and everything was fine and everything worked out, and they've never let me down. So all I really want to say is back yourself. And if you're not really someone who tunes into those instincts, start to tune. The best way to do this is actually to journal. And the way I learned it was to start journaling and making records of what I felt my instincts were telling me. So I'll give you one example before I finish this video. In my very early 20s, I was with my girlfriend at the time, and I just had this sort of instinct, this sort of gut feeling that she was being unfaithful. But I had no proof, I had no way of knowing, but I wrote it down in my journal. I just started to journal at the time, and I was sort of experimenting with that. And I wrote it down, and I actually left that journal at my parents' house. I was at university, and I left it at my parents' house one weekend. And then about a couple of weeks later, it all came out, and it turns out she had and was being unfaithful. And as soon as I found out, the first thing I didn't get angry. I just, we had our discussion, things were finished, and I jumped in my car and I drove straight back to my parents' house because I wanted to read that journal note I had made a couple of weeks earlier. And after rereading it, it was like, okay, I knew this. I knew it subconsciously, but I didn't know it, or didn't have any data consciously. And since then, there's been probably hundreds of situations now where instincts are telling you to go one way, and if you make notes of that and you start to build a record of that, and then you, in hindsight, as time progresses, as situations pan out, you go back and look at that, you can really start to fine tune. And in the world of business, in particular business turnarounds, it's very powerful. It's probably my greatest sort of weapon, like secret weapon, really. and it served me so well and continues to serve me so well. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. I think this is such an important topic, and yeah, I really hope it resonates with some of you, ideally all of you who are watching this. Business is a numbers game, and business is essentially yeah, it is about the numbers and it's about your team, but there is a big place for that non-logical, non-numbers based sort of intelligence, that sort of intuition that comes through, that can really, you know, be the difference between success and failure, through just about scraping through and completely failing. So yeah, I am currently sitting in the car park. I'm just about to go into the gym. It's nearly 8 o'clock in the evening. To be honest, very tired, so I don't really want to be here, but I'm making myself do it, and I know that it will probably be quite a good workout, because every time I don't want to go to the gym and I make myself go, I tend to sort of break a personal best or do something that just reinforces that yeah, sometimes we just got to do what we got to do. So hope you enjoyed this video. These are still very new to me. At the moment, I'm the only one really watching these. I'm uploading them to my YouTube channel. I've got 1 subscriber, and yeah, I'm just enjoying playing about with these and figuring out how I can sort of communicate value, and ideally a lot more value than I am at the moment. So if you are watching these very early videos, thank you, I really appreciate it, and bear with me, because I'm going to stick to this, and I'm really excited to see how this these sort of pan out, and how this whole yeah, this whole sort of new area for me pans out. It's a typical case of I've never done this before, so right now I look at this as I'm getting in my reps. You know, the same way in the gym you get your reps in, you get your repetitions, you practice. This is what this is for me. So if you are watching this, I thank you wholeheartedly, and I apologize for yeah, any amateur gibberish just like that. Have a good evening, see you soon.